Aye?
Aloth looks at me with quiet attentiveness. How may I be of service? So, now you understand a little bit more about Islamir? He wrinkles his nose. No thanks to that animancer. My spleen? Black bile? Come on. Belisage's methods were flawed, but you still learned something, didn't you? Only because you and I have a lick of good sense between us, but the average person, show them a shiny gadget in the hands of an expert, and they'll believe anything. Perhaps animancy has its uses, but it's hard to say whether those outweigh the dangers. It's too decentralized. There's no one to keep the practice in check, no uniform principles or guidelines. Well, this is a hard one. Perhaps he's right. Yes, you need someone in charge to regulate the practice. I remember that fellow that was experimenting on all the people inside the asylum. Quite so. Practitioners won't do it on their own. Why did you want to take Belisage's notes? Gives me a sidelong glance. Like I said, I didn't appreciate her prying. So what about your parents? He looks at me cautiously. Yes? Why was your mother gone so often? She was invited to join a hamneg with a landed Thayan when I was very young. His estate was a 5-day ride from our home in the Scythewood, so that was part of it. He gives me the smallest of frowns. The real issue, however, was my father. Despite his initial agreement with the arrangement, father was never happy with it. He would hound and harangue my mother when she was home. He wanted to know whether she was intimate with the Thane, and no matter how many times she swore she wasn't, it was never enough. As you can imagine, that led to her coming home much less often, even though she still supported us financially. What is a hamneg? A ceremonial marriage between folk and elf. Because the Aedir mainland has historically been split between the two races, we have many institutions that are designed to normalize relations. Our monarchy is headed by folk, but an elven consort rules alongside the reigning Firkonig or Mekwin. This is the most prominent example of hamneg. In many cases, a hamneg allows two households to pool resources. Among the aristocracy, hamnegs consolidate power. Sometimes, as in my mother's case, a hamneg is a means for a noble to add another administrator to his or her household. Consorts are receiving with almost the same level of respect as their noble counterparts, which can be extremely useful. Of course, hamnegs are sometimes used to sanitize an extramarital affair. He shrugs. I don't know if that's really any better, but it seems to satisfy common notions of decency, and elf and folk unions are sterile, which no doubt eases some concerns. Sounds like your father had a problem with his temper. He had a problem with my mother's hamneg, even though they agreed upon it long ago that the financial benefits would be considerable, that it was little different from his role as the Earl's steward. It ate at him, and so he drank and raged. When she was home, he raged at her. When she wasn't, he raged at me. More than anything, he wanted me to become an arcane knight in the service of his Earl. I think he felt this would validate his chosen career and master. He was a firm man, as you saw, but in the end, I became a successful wizard due in no small part to his strictness. It's hard to see at the time, but sometimes pressure is useful. My thoughts exactly. At this point, I can easily say that the skills I learned were worth the challenges. That's all I really want to know. It's nice to have drinks with my companions and talk about what's going on. So how about you, Sagani?
Ready, Watcher.
What's on your mind? I want to know about your homeland. Nasitak? She rubs her nose with one broad finger. It's a big island in the middle of the Deadfire Archipelago, just off the coast of the White that Wens. Tundra mostly, and a few snow-covered forests in the warmer parts. Most of us live in fairly small villages, by standards here anyway. Mine is Masuk. What's Nasitak like? She shrugs. Cold, but not as cold as the White that Wens. The few kith who visit Nasitak find it sparse, but there's plenty to sustain a village if you know where to look. She ticks the items off her callous fingers. We get hides and meat from caribou, seals, and small whales. Bone, too, which make fine bows and arrowheads. Community is important to us. We survive or perish together. So everything we do, every week-long hunt, every wall we build, is for the village. Who lives there? Mostly Inutanic, like me. People here call us boreal dwarves. Migratory clans of Glamfellan from the White that Wen sometimes spend the colder seasons on Nasitak, but we don't see too many other foreigners who can tolerate the elements. She pats a weather-bronzed arm. Those of us born in Nasitak like to say we have a hardy layer of sealskin just beneath our flesh. Tell us more about Masuk. We're a tundra village. To an outsider's eyes, we're probably not much different from the others around us, but our elders have stories that go back hundreds of years. Epic hunts, battles with neighboring villages, sojourns across the sea. We share these stories too. That's all. What do you do back in Nasitak? I'm a long hunter. I stalk game across the tundra with some of the other wives. We usually hunt caribou and oxen, but we find hares and birds too. It's a good and respected position to see so much of Nasitak in the company of my friends and sisters. This is one of the pleasures of life in Masuk. Tell me about Utumak. She scratches behind her ear. A good hunter, but not much of a talker. That's been fine by me. When we hunt in Nasitak, we almost always bring our foxes with us. They help us track and flush game, and they're fearless defenders against bears and snow leopards. Clever Utumak has always been my favorite. He wags his brushy tail. You have a family back in your village? Of course, we'd never send a woman who hasn't had the chance to find a mate and have a couple of children of her own. Tell me about your children. I've had 5. Yakona, Estuya, Juo, Anik, and Malak. Estuya and Anik died young in long, lean winters. Malak was barely talking when I left. She scrapes a thumbnail across the handle of her hunting knife. He probably won't know me when I get home. Oh, I kind of feel bad for the little man. She frowns, her hand falling from her knife. Even in Nasitak, I spend most of my time on the hunt, but then it's easier to relish the hunt when I know I'll see my family enjoying our kill. What's your husband like? Kelly's a good man. He raised our children well and built us a strong home while I've been away on hunts. Our parents chose us for one another when we were still young. Not the way things are usually done here, but ours chose well. She smiles. We came to appreciate each other as helpmates first, then friends, and then, well, you know how it goes. There's a hint of a blush below the stripe of a face paint. Aren't you worried your husband will... Are you kidding? I'm the best shot in Masuk. I'm curious about your search for Persok. I'll tell you what I can, but Tarnak Ilitsak pilgrimages like mine are rare. Why do your people have this tradition? She pulls the bear figurine out of her satchel, running a finger along its smooth back. It's something we've always done. The elders say it was first begun to forge ties with other villages. It's hard to fight over caribou herds when you see someone you respect on the other side. We believe that passing our history on this way keeps us stronger, and it helps them, the elders, return to us after they've been away from us for a generation or more. They can use the experience they've accumulated over lifetimes to lead the village again. Are elders usually reborn so far from the village? Most often, they return somewhere in Nasitak, a member of another village, or they're reborn among the Glamfellan of the White that wins. Even so, it's hard to say what's usual. A mischievous grin crinkles her eyes. When my grandfather was a boy, the elder came back as a polar bear. The hunters chosen for the task had to recite half of our village's deeds while running from the beast. Her expression sobers. Even so, there have been journeys longer than mine. Some last decades, and the huntress doesn't always return. What happens when the elder is found? That depends on the man or woman he's become. It's easiest when the rebirth happens in another village of Nasitak, where the tradition is understood. Even in the White that wins and the southern islands of the Deadfire Archipelago, people understand this custom and will welcome you politely enough even if their souls do not remember. She shrugs, but sometimes you find someone whose soul has no memory of the village, and you have to tell him of people who remember him still. As disheartening as this is, you hope that the reminder will aid his soul in a future life. How did you get picked to come search for Persok? She grins. Another old village tradition. The elders watch the caribou migrations and cast seal bones to determine the right time for this journey. When the omens were determined, all the village wives drew shark teeth. We're the ones that go away to hunt and fish, so we're the best suited for a task like this. Anyway, I grabbed the little tooth. She frowns. Traveling so far is a rare privilege for us, but as you can see, the journey can be unpredictable. Okay, well, what are your thoughts on my search? She crosses her arms. Teos has made for an interesting chase. What I can't figure is whether he's on the run from something or pursuing a quarry of his own. Let's move on. Well, we've had a few drinks. I think that's enough. We have the Searing Falls to head to. It's for Ferga. She's had visions of a cave with a place with multicolored pools and a rising waterfall. She believes that something there would restore her faith, but she also believes that something else there would try to kill her. I found a map pinpointing the location of a place called Searing Falls. It's a long journey, but at least I know where it is now. Ferga. Wrapping my mind, my brain. She's tranquil, ardent of Magran. She's had her faith shaken by the Hollowborn crisis in Defiance Bay. I think that she was in the Duke's Palace? The Ducal Palace? Yes, so as a result, she's been unable to keep the city's sacred fires lit. They're a symbol of triumph and protection, and they're more important now than ever. And we'll help her with that.
Sure.
That could go a long way towards helping my name. Nice morning. Good to have the sun on my face. Now, let's head out to the Searing Falls. Dunreed Scion has arrived. Seeking employment. He was nearly... These are information from the steward. He was nearly set upon by the brigands on the road, but my patrols intervened. Well, let's see if we can't get him help then. We can hire him. 100 per day. Compared to all the others, it's 10 times the amount. I don't know if I want him. Maybe not for now. And the curio shop is less than 24 hours till it's completed. Nothing we can do with people back home. So I wanted Sagani to come back out with us. We sent Haravius back to Kednua. That's a little odd. Oh, well, what is this? Young Drake? Well, we're close enough it's going to attack us. Anyway. Let's get in on this.
That's not hurt.
2 Drakes. Young Drake and a full Drake.
Very helpful.
Sagani. Back.
Ready, Watcher.
Use your bow.
That's not.
What? Oh, figures. We have Zorps now entering the fight. Young Drake is down. Pelagina and I will focus on the main Drake. Ader, get these Zorps.
Ready, Watcher.
Oh, almost fallen myself.
Can't get a good shot with this. Can't get a good shot with this.
What? Mow it.
Hey.
I'm ready. Board.
Breath uligna.
Back on my feet. Oh, I hate getting knocked down like that. Not very pleasant feeling.
I'm ready.
Hey.
Ready, Watcher.
At least my party members that can mend my wounds.
I'm ready.
Alright. Not much better, but feeling better. That's nighttime.
Right.
Well, if that's going to be the way this entire area is, it's going to be pretty tough. Searing Falls. I think we're going to have to send Sagani ahead to see what's ahead of us. We've got high priests, 2 of them. More of them to the south.
Lava Lava.
A lot easier than facing the drakes. A lot of equipment we're picking up.
Right.
What is this? The tunnel burrows into the depths as far as the eye can see. The crystal waters are perfectly transparent. Oh, I understand why it's called Searing Falls. Okay, Sagani, if you wouldn't mind scouting ahead.
Ready, Watcher.
Treat this like a dangerous dungeon.
I'll take a look.
Two. Okay, so there's a drake ahead. We can bottleneck it up right here. They're our toughest fighters.
I'm ready.
I guess
How may I
I'll
help?
hold the line too.
Hey.
Hey.
Aye?
Ready, Watcher. I'm on the trail. Ready, Watcher.
Here comes a bunch of Zorops. That one's killed right away.
Let's go.
Still not the Drake that she saw. Still lured in.
Ready, Watcher.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Keeping quiet.
Oh, there it comes. It's a full Drake. Look how big it is. That got its attention. Here it comes. Get ready to flank. Charge it, guys. Oh, this one breathed fire. Mass attack, if you can get around to flank, that'd be great. Now it's flanked.
Ready, Watcher.
Moe ixi. Moe.
That's not very helpful.
Much easier.
Sure.
Take one of its talons.
Ready.
There's another one here. There's a young Drake.
Watcher.
Here it comes. Get ready. Same thing again. Charge it. We'll flank.
Moe ixi.
That's not very helpful.
Ready, Watcher.
I think she was right. Something here might try to kill her. It's a pretty dangerous place. There's caves here. That may be where we're supposed to go. It only makes sense. Okay, she's waving for us to come. Let's get over there.
Ready, Watcher.
Young Drake. Pull it in.
Ready, Watcher.
Oh, there's another one. 2 young Drakes. 3.
This thing.
Plus more. There's a blight.
Can't get a good shot. This.
Aztec birth and rock!
What?
That's not very helpful.
Can't get a good shot with this. Ready, Watcher.
Aztec birth and...
One's down.
Moe ixi.
Just one left. Which is knocked down already. That is a lot of Drakes.
Huh?
Not much for loot, though.
Steady does it.
I'm here.
Aye? Ah!
Some herbs. Oh, we came in this way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, guys. Let's circle around. Nasuta or
Ready,
Sagani,
Watcher.
go ahead. That may be everything here. Okay, it's just two more. One Drake, one young Drake. We're gonna go confront that. We can bottleneck them here. Unfortunately,
Hey.
Ready,
we
Watcher.
can't go around to flank them.
Yeah.
Hey.
I'm ready. Ready, Watcher.
Here comes one of the Drakes.
Huh?
There's three.
Vi aces vox conferant!
One young Drake is down.
Lava Lava beyond.
Okay, now it's just the Drake that's left. Taking some of their talons.
Right.
Well, I think we need to camp now. Aloth says he's completely out of all magical spells. Well, here's Blight. Be really quick. And so is Durance. Time to rest then. To the west, Pearlwood Bluff. Well, let's camp outside this cave. Rest through the rest of the night.